Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to Video Supply, where we help you grow your business using the power of video. We have on Josh Crandall today. What's up, Josh? My
Hey, how
co-host.
we doing?
And so what we're going to talk about is building a video sales funnel for your business. So many of you may be asking, what exactly is a video sales funnel? For those of you who in marketing, you've probably heard the term sales funnel. And what it basically means is the journey your customers go on from the point they learn about you to the point that they're paying you and becoming a loyal fan of your business. And it's understanding what that journey looks like. And then when it comes into building a video sales funnel, it's creating relevant video messages for that journey that your customers go on. And so it's kind of like, people compare the journey of a customer to dating a lot. Josh and I are both married. And so, many of you, I'm sure, can relate to the experience of meeting that significant other, asking them out, getting their digits, and going on a series of dates. And so from the first point of contact, whether you want to call it love at first sight, like you found that perfect customer, to the point of asking, proposing and getting hitched, there are different messages and different things you need to do, both in a relationship with that significant other, but also with your customers. And so, Josh, I guess let's speak to the this relationship side. What to you and your wife, like, what were some of those key parts in the relationship building process that were like, this is a huge milestone, this happened? Like, was it the first kiss? Was it holding hands? What did it look like for you?
Well, first off, I just dropped off your live feed. I just requested maybe you can bump
Oh
me back
yeah,
in here.
let's bring you back on. We're also live on Instagram for those listening or watching.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, some huge milestones. I think one of the biggest milestones was convincing her that we were good for each other. I told her that I referred to her as my girlfriend in a conversation. She's like, "What? We haven't even talked about that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? We like hold hands and we've kissed each other. It's like we're in a relationship." so yeah, that was a huge milestone, is actually convincing her that we were in a relationship. No, but I think those huge milestones are like, obviously, well, our relationship took a long time. So like milestones were like, first of all, just getting over the hump of like becoming, more than just like interested, but becoming friends. So it was like meeting her, and then like years later, we actually started talking after we'd met, and then, so overcoming those barriers of like, oh well, do they like me? Do they not? And then the next step, of course, was like, asking him on a date, right? So then you get a date. And then as that, progresses and you go on more dates, obviously the relationship gets further. And so, interesting analogy, but yeah, one thing leads to another, and then engagement. And then obviously you have that point of time, which is the engagement process, which I think it's in a different light. Your relationship is seen differently. But then, getting married, and then, everything's on the table, I guess. So
Yeah, it's so good too, and I'm sure people were thinking about their own relationship experiences, whether you're married or not, and those different milestones. You mentioned early on that you're like, oh yeah, my girlfriend, but she's like, wait a minute, we haven't defined this yet, and I feel like our customers kind of get the same experiences from us sometimes, where we start to date them or hang out with them, and then we speak to them like they are already committed to us, when in all reality we haven't helped them in a way, or we haven't shared the right message in a way that that really solidifies that relationship. I think, what was it used in college? Josh and I are college friends too. It was define the relationship. DTR was a college term back in the day. Maybe it's still used. But it really is important to understand, where are you in this journey of a relationship. And a sales funnel, which is, that marketing term, is exactly that when it comes to your business. Understanding where your customers are in their journey, and speaking to them in a way that's relevant to what they need to hear, and not jumping the gun. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen. So those listening or watching elsewhere may not see this. And so if you want to see this, definitely go to YouTube, Content Supply on YouTube to watch this. But we're going to share our screen and walk through what it looks like to actually share the right type of message through video in your customer's experience in learning about you for the first time to being a happy paying customer. And I'll use some other terms too. So first off, let me share our screen. Here we go. So we're showing our agency website. It's videosupply.com. And this recently went live, and we're gonna basically do a review of what a video sales funnel looks like for here. And honestly, selfishly, for us to reevaluate where we have a bunch of videos we are currently building and gonna put on this website to fit into this video sales funnel. And so when you consider building a sales funnel and creating those messages, you need to think in 3 different themes of messages. The first one is all about traffic. You may hear some echoing, by the way, on this recording, but the first one's all about traffic. What type of traffic-related videos do you need to create? Traffic is all about helping your customers get to know you and for you to get to know them. It's kind of like when you meet that special someone for the first time. Josh and I can totally relate. You guys can totally relate to this, right? Where it's like, you're not going to say like, hey, this is really fun. I think we should start generating more traffic together. You're not going to use that kind of language with your customers. You're going to say like, hey, let's get to know each other better. Like, do you want to go on another date? Do you want to consider checking out this other product or resource? And so the traffic phase is all about getting to know. So it's that know phase of that relationship. And then the second theme of messaging in the sales funnel is all about leads. So it's generating leads, generating interest, and getting them to fall in love with you and your brand. And the same with you. Like, you want to definitely connect with your customers on that relationship level. And so as that happens, they become a new lead, meaning they give their name and email. Then they start to fall in love with you more, and eventually they show that they trust you when they pay you. And that happens when they become a new sale. So the third theme of messaging is the sale. And so all video messaging related to sales. So it's traffic, leads, and sales. Or in a relationship, it's know, love, and trust. And so what we're going to speak with that kind of language in mind and show you some examples of videos you can use to really speak to that relevant messaging. So on our website, videosupply.com, go and check it out. We have a series of different sections on this homepage. You go through the section, it's delivering a specific message relevant to where the customer is in their journey. So when they show up to your website or any kind of sales page or things like that, they're still technically in that traffic phase. They're in that know phase. They're trying to figure out like, hey, am I actually interested in, like, air quotes, dating this person? And so they're getting a good feel for whether they can eventually love and trust your brand and become one of those loyal, committed customers. So they're scrolling through the page, and on this page, what you really need is a video form of what's written there. Most pages should be delivering a value and definitely presenting a product or service that you offer in your business. And in doing this, it's very powerful. We're obviously very biased because this is the Video Supply, podcast and show. That video is a powerful way to communicate the message of getting your customers to know you more. And so on this page, you definitely want a video version of what information is presented on your page and why they should continue to follow you. Another thing to keep in mind, by the way, is I mentioned the website as still a version of traffic related content. A big part of your traffic definitely comes down to the ads and social media content you put out there on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform your customers spend their time on. Because Josh, I mean, you could totally speak to this, but when, with dating, right, like getting to know someone, we're not going to necessarily build up that relationship strictly from like a virtual chat room, right? Like Facebook Messenger, dating websites. Eventually, we're going to have to figure out where beyond the virtual world, those who want to date spend their time, right? Like, did you like hiding in your dorm room, right? If you're dating in college, or not going and socializing, you got to actually meet people to where they congregate, right? Well, yeah, I think. Hey, Josh, I think your audio's turned off.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
it
there
is.
we go.
How's it
Bring it
sound?
back on.
Yeah, so yeah, funny you should ask because my wife and I met in a book buyback line at BYU, Idaho, and didn't really talk to each other until like 2 years after. But then we talked to each other over Facebook for like 8 months before we actually went on our first date. And so she was like, "Man, I don't remember if he was this short in real life," but she saw pictures with all my tall friends, and so yeah, you gotta meet each other. There has to be that point where virtual becomes real, and you can develop that rapport of in person. And it's just a lot like when you have meetings, virtual meetings. I'm sure that's it's the name of a game during COVID, but you can really tons of communication comes from being in person and from being face to face and watching and receiving reactions via visual cues. So yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, well, no, totally, and that was good insight too, because to me, like this first phase of traffic related videos, the first step of the sales funnel, first impressions are huge. If you don't make a great first impression on like those you're dating, or obviously especially your customers, as we talk about business, then they're not going to want to get to know you any further and follow your brand. And so sometimes we like how we attract people and build up this attraction comes down to first impression, and also our ability to attract the people we actually want to attract, and then honestly repel the people we don't. Like if we are like the bad guy, like the bad guy in a relationship, and we are toxic, then we're not necessarily going to attract altogether the nice girls. Prove me wrong, but there's plenty of probably romantic comedies out there that speak otherwise. But I feel like you definitely attract who you that kind of impression that you put out there. And so when you're creating messages, video messages for this first step of your sales funnel, your video sales funnel, definitely consider the first impression you want to make. A lot of people, I think, feel crippled by this first impression in their online business because they feel like they have to show up perfectly. And so there's power now more than ever to not have to show up so perfectly, and you can attract the people who actually do want to follow you long term, because you can create simple cell phone videos, do YouTube videos, but do it in a way that's not overly polished and professional. Depending on the style of brand, maybe it calls for more professionally done content, and that's why people hire us at Video Supply, our agency. But it's not always essential to establish that first getting to know you phase to generate the traffic you need to start to grow your business. And that's why it's important that you get started with that area. And honestly, most of the time, energy, and resource and effort, all that stuff, most of that happens in this first phase of your sales funnel in generating traffic. I would say 80% of your energy should go into that traffic generation. And then the leftover 20% will go into the other two phases of your video sales funnel. And so that next phase, we talked about this early on, that next phase is all about lead generation. So we pull them from social media, you meet your customers, you invite them to keep following you, maybe invite to that second date, right? And that's when they start showing up to your website and kind of doing that online business stalking level where they, they want to see if like, hey, can I trust this person? What's their background like? And so Josh, what have you seen? So like when people show up to a website, why is it important to have messages through video and not just like words on a website? Like, why do you think that's important? And turn your mic back on.
I'm trying to prevent this feedback going on that I think is happening on our Instagram live. But yeah, videos are so important within that whole sales process. And again, it's really you're developing a rapport, even if it's with something or with somebody that you are not, face to face in real time with. They want to see you. They want to know, is their investment going to be worth it, right? They want to develop that trust before you actually buy something. And this is something that we all face, in multiple facets of our lives. And so video really helps to capture a brand. It really helps to capture a feeling. Video really helps to clarify a message. And, for most of us who are walking around, we have our eyes, we've got our ears, and then, we have our life experience to help interpret those messages that we receive. And so, all of this goes into play when you jump on a website. You're seeing things, you're, potentially hearing things, and that all influences that. So there's really I guess kind of a pitch to video supply is like, Dallin and I, we bring professional, that professional experience of being able to know what that is and how to help people interpret your message correctly, to be able to help the buyer, investor trust in you. So that web page experience is all about building that trust up for then, delivering them down that sales funnel to then trust you. So
totally. And how many of you seen this when you go to a website and you see like a stock animation of like communicating the product or service? So it's often a software type company. One of their first versions of their videos is they pay for some stock animation to happen that it's effective to communicate information, but what it lacks is that human connection, right? You don't necessarily connect with an animated character unless you're watching like a classic Disney movie, I guess, right? Makes you cry, or a Pixar movie, but you go and we want that human connection, especially in the virtual world. And so if you're showing up to a website and you're not showing your face in video, you're not showing those visuals of people who you've worked with, yourself, your team, your company, in a way that further builds that trust to the point that your customers will actually buy from you, then you're losing out on a huge opportunity. And honestly, you are hurting your reputation of your business because you're not putting that human element. And so it doesn't just include, this video sales funnel idea, which is pivotal behind Video Supply. It doesn't just include social media content ads to get that initial attention. It also includes being there as a guide on that next step. And so putting your face and that of your team and your customers throughout your website in video form builds that connection further. And it's kind of like it's kind of like when we changed, going back to this relationship analogy, it's kind of like when you strictly text someone to like ask them out on the next date. Like my wife still brings it up as like some kind of, like I deny it, but she's like, you asked me out through a text or something. And so it's one of those things that it doesn't hold the same kind of value to people. If you were to ask out in person, face to face, or at least through FaceTime, right? A video call, that makes a world of difference for your customers. So just don't send them a text follow-up message that is just the written word. Do something more. Use audio, use video, and connect with them on that level, so that way they can hear your voice and see you as someone that they can relate to and trust. And that's really key to understanding this the second phase of lead generation, but the falling in love stage for them to be like, oh my gosh, like I love what they're doing. I want to follow them more. Obviously, I'm going to follow on all the social medias, but then I'm going to subscribe to their email list, whether it's downloading a free resource or starting to buy, a product or service. And so if you see our website, Video Supply, that is something we are adding here shortly. We're showing you our current version, and what we'll do is we'll add, apart from just this, we have a video reel playing on the main banner of our website page. But on virtually every page on this website, we are going to have videos that are a video version of what's presented as copy, as written word. And in that, we're going to show our faces, we're going to show our clients' faces, and we're going to communicate a very clear message that guides them to what happens next in this journey. And that's what the video sales funnel is. That's what is needed with your own video supply. And so in doing that, it's, again, making a video version of what's presented here. But then when someone clicks on that call to action button that's on your website, which if your website is done right, it should lead them to a product or service to download or buy. So for us, you click Start Now, and it immediately takes you to a calendar booking page where you can book a call with our team to see if we're a good fit to work together, so we can build out your own video supply, your own video sales funnel for your business. And so on this, when someone can book a call, the confirmation page will have another video. And on that video, it will give people further trust and knowledge around what to expect next, and to be excited, but also prepare well for what comes next, which is that initial sales call, or we call it discovery call. And so that is very essential to do, because that way you can be that guide. You're going through this story that is about you as a customer. And the same thing is with your customers. Think about them as Luke Skywalker and you're Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? If you're not a Star Wars nerd like I am, Josh, are you a Star Wars nerd? Do you like Star Wars?
I like Star Wars. I don't know. I'd call myself a nerd over it, though. I wish I could speak to more of it, but
you don't go to Wikipedia to study thousands of planets they have. I'm also a Lord of the Rings nerd. Do you like Lord of the Rings? Yeah. I read the Silmarillion. I think that's how you say the book name. Back when I was like 15, which is you've got the core Hobbit book, you've got the trilogy, but then they have extra books that speak to the languages of Middle Earth, to other stories and characters. It's nerd level, to the next level, seriously. But I digress, but it's important to understand the perfect form of a story, and that is there's always a hero and there's always a guide to help that hero succeed. And so you are that guide to your customers, and through building out a video sales funnel, you will give confidence in these heroes of your customers that they can succeed with your business. And so as that happens and they're like, oh my gosh, I love you guys, I want to buy whatever you build and make and present, then what the next step looks like is that sales related content. It's about your product, and it's that trust phase, really. They're showing that they trust you when they pay you. And for those in online business, maybe you're an expert brand, like a coach, consultant, author, course creator. A lot of this looks like course content, training content that you can only get access to after you pay to get access. If you're selling e-commerce, or maybe you're a nonprofit, it's further education about your cause or about the product you're selling to help people be successful in using it or in joining your movement. And so understanding that after people have shown they trust you and that they pay you, there's different messages there. People already know and love you. And so you don't have to build up that rapport as much as you need to provide even more value that they're wanting to get access to. And so, that's it. I mean, that's the video sales funnel. It's building up that relationship of getting them to know you, getting them to love you, getting them to trust you. And then for marketing language, it's generating that traffic, generating those leads, and getting those sales. And understanding that there are different types of messages along that journey your customers go on. And so other areas that you can insert videos throughout this entire experience include sharing case studies. Joshua, like, why do you think case studies are a powerful way, like in case studies in video form, a powerful way to help build up that trust in customers?
I think that it's extremely important only because I think we all have a relative experience with the rise of the internet. Of course, we're all here, and the the ability for someone to get information immediately is crucial. And then but being able to have that video form, really just helps. Or sorry, to have like a testimonial or like a client experience, really is just a confidence boost, if anything. I know for myself, like if I'm going to buy anything, I'm looking in YouTube for reviews, right? And so
Amazon reviews is huge, right? Like,
oh yeah,
like people are posting like videos and pictures of like their good or bad experiences. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at Yelp to go to a food place. You're looking at the Google reviews, Amazon, everything. Like you want an experience based on somebody who has been through the experience, right? And so it's invaluable to have those success stories behind your own brand to show like, hey, this really works, and here's how it can help you, right? Because you want to have similar results. A lot of our clients that come through Content Supply and through Video Supply, the goal is here to 10x their investment, right? So they invest, whatever it is to help with our services, but then they see a massive return on that investment, and so being able to share that with other people is just tremendous.
Yeah, the case studies. Don't necessarily go talk to your ex to get their experience with dating you and share it with your current, relationship. My thought just went to that. I was like, what's the case study look like in this relationship? Oh my gosh, it's talking to your ex and be like, you should talk to my current girlfriend or, or boyfriend and figure out like what the experience was like, But definitely in the business world, it's so powerful and it gives people more of that confidence. Well, I mean, other like different specific examples throughout the experience of this sales funnel or for your customers to share video messages include upsells. That's another marketing term. And basically what that means is like after your customer buys something from you, you upsell them on another product, another service. Maybe this happens right after they buy, or maybe it happens weeks or months after they buy. And be like, hey, you've had amazing experience with this one product. Well, guess what? We have another product that we can sell you. And that can be delivered as video inside of email. Maybe it's inside of an online course. Maybe it's on social media as an ad that retargets them. But there's opportunities to upsell them on other opportunities to build up more of that trust. Other messages include inviting them to your communities. Maybe you have a Facebook community, or maybe it's a private community on your website. Or maybe it's actual like in-person communities and events that you host. There's also surveys. So surveys are huge that you can invite customers or potential customers to take a survey because then you can understand like where are you currently experiencing problems in your life, in your business, and it gives you better information about your customers. Testimonials is another big one. Is sending a video invite for customers to submit a testimonial, a video testimonial, ideally, that you can put on your website, but written testimonials also work well too. And then there's also like proposals, if you're making deals and closing big deals like that, that's important. Webinars is another video form of messaging for the sales funnel. Customer service, that's huge. right? If you have that human element and people are need answers to their questions, you can have pre-recorded videos on an area of your website. Maybe you are a customer service rep and you meet with people through video to help resolve their concerns. Giving out rewards, sending follow-up messages through video, giving out gifts, holidays. The list goes on, is to consider, like, what is this perfect experience, this magical experience I can give my customers, and do so in video form to show up with them with the most, like, video is the best way to build up that connection over any other type of content out there. And that's why we're a big believer in the ability to supply your customers with videos that they need to help them survive and thrive, to help them live a more successful life and business. So those are just some examples of areas we do talk about and that we build out more. And so, I mean, you're welcome to, we drop it down below again, but we have what we call the Video Supply Guide, which walks you through building out your entire video advertising strategy, which includes the video sales funnel. And so we'll drop that link down below, at least for sure on YouTube. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, and then what would you say, like, what else, Josh, like, what are other ways that people can start to build out their own video sales funnel? I guess apart from going to videosupply.com and talking to us more.
Well, you know, I think you touched on it earlier, but a lot of people think that they need to be 100% when they make an approach, right? When, you know, sometimes just having something is better than having something perfect, right? And so, like,
right.
You know, stepping out there and experiencing, you know, what it's like to build something, or whether it fails, or what you can do to improve it. You mentioned a couple things like starting a community. Like, why not? Why not, you know, start a Facebook page or like a hashtag and have some content delivered there so that people can go and experience multiple ways of, you know, that rapport that they can build with you, but then also to, you know, start that process. You know, you're getting to know them, to love them, to trust them. And so, you know, just getting yourself out there. And bonus, if you've already built a community, in order for them to be a part of, you know, that's something that we all strive to be. You know, our lives are about connection, right? We all strive for a connection somewhere in our lives, and if we can do that in some form of a community or through a sales funnel, you know, then it's really going to help you out in that whole buyer's journey. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's where, like, I mean, video is so powerful. I mean, I can't even imagine watching a silent film, you know, back in the day, where, you know, and I miss out on the theater experience right now. You know, we're still filming this where a lot of theaters are shut down, or we're experiencing from our home. There's something about that immersive experience of sights, sound, you know, the motion picture experience. And we have the powerful tools, you know, in our hands today, in our pockets, with phones and webcams and easy, like, we're connecting up photography cameras of all things to our computers to be webcams, you know, and the tools are so cheap and accessible. And in doing that, we're able to connect further with our customers and truly be that guide for their entire experience. And so, yeah, building up that community and those connections is vital. And so when you're ready to build out your own video sales funnel and get your video supply to help you grow your business, get more visible, then you can go to videosupply.com and book a free strategy call with us. We'll figure out if we're a good fit to work together, and then we can go from there to help you grow your business with video.
Did you say that was free, Dallin?
It's free. It's free. It's free. Like those infomercials. Free.
Yeah.
And wait, there's more.
Free. Yeah, there's definitely more.
Remember that
but
moment?
Yeah, you know.
Go ahead.
No, it is free. Like, there's nothing to lose taking that step out there, you know, and just talking to us, you know. We'll discover if we're a good fit to work together or not. You know, we can tell you no, or you can you know, go back to our website and prepare a little bit more and then come again. But you know, we're more than willing to have that discovery call with you, talk to you a little bit about, you know, what it is that you're getting into, what are your goals, what do you want to achieve, and then you know, see what steps we can take to really help you on that journey.
If anything, you'll learn your next right step. I mean, maybe we figure out, like, right now, right this moment is not the best time for us to work together. But we'll definitely present with you like what is your next best solution. We have other opportunities to work with us and to get results that will require more hands-on work from you and your team. But yeah, no, it's just a simple way to figure out like what is your next right step and how can you start use video in a bigger way to grow your business, all the way from that start of the relationship, building that first impression, getting them to know you, getting them to love you, and getting them to trust you. And so that's all that we do at Video Supply, is to build up that entire experience, starting with ads, starting with promotions and that first impression. So that's it. Go to videosupply.com to apply for a free quick call with our team, and we can go from there. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you guys are watching this on Instagram, on the Instas, on the Facebooks, YouTubes, listening to this, drop a comment down below if you have questions around like, hey, this is my industry, or here's a struggle I'm having with using video inside my business. I'd love to do more of this video sales funnel, but I don't really know what my next right step is. We will answer your questions and help provide you information on that next right step. So thanks for watching. Again, go to videosupply.com to apply to get that first free call, strategy call with us, and we can help you grow with Video Supply.
Thanks for listening.